Hello everyone, my name is John Bussard. I'm an HPE Business Transformation Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support HPE servers, blade systems, storage, as well as Aruba networking technology solutions. In my video, what I'd like to do is show you some slides from an HP PowerPoint and then demonstrate to you what that means within a management interface. Today we're going to focus in on HPE's cloud volumes, and specifically we're going to be looking at replication. What we're going to do today is going to replicate from an on-premises Nimble array up into HPE's cloud volumes. I'm going to show you how to actually create that relationship between the two sites. Next, after that's done, I'm going to show you a volume that's been replicated up into HP Cloud Volumes, and we're going to present that to a cloud provider. In our case, we're going to use an EC2 incident within AWS, so a VM within Amazon, but certainly there are other providers that are available that you could attach these volumes to. Also, as a side note, the way we go about setting up the replication partnership is very similar if we were setting it up with another on-prem Nimble array, maybe something at a secondary location or another site. Right, but I'll point out the differences. There are some differences, but a lot of the context will be the same. So with all that being said, let's explore this solution context. Okay, here we are up in HPE's cloud volumes. We're actually underneath block volumes right now. What we're going to focus in this video is we're going to look at these three categories. So we're going to look at replication partners, which would be on-premise arrays that we're accepting replication from. Replication store, and that would be the space and the costing within HPE's cloud volumes. And then the actual volumes that we have stored up in here, or the replicated volumes. Right? And we could take those and convert those to block volumes and present those to the cloud. So if I go down to replication partners, you'll already see I have a partner that exists, right? And that'll be this array here. In a little bit, we'll use this array. I'll show you some data that's getting replicated from this array up into HP Cloud Volumes, right up here. Right, and I'll show you how to present that to an EC2 incident. But really, what I want to do is start off and show you how to create this partnership in this environment. So we're going to create a new replication partner, and we're going to do that with this array over here. You can see that right now there's no replication partners that are in this array, but we're going to change that as we kind of go through this, and we're going to add a new replication partner. So I'm going to go over to Cloud Volumes, Replication Partners, and you'd think first you'd want to click on New On-Premises Array. We've got a lot of required information, but more importantly, we've got no replication stores that are available in order to place our data. So we got to solve this problem first. I'm going to click Cancel. We're going to go up to Replication Stores, and we're going to create ourselves a new replication store. So I'm going to add a new store, and I'll call this New Ingram Micro Rep Store. I'm only going to leave it at a gig. We're only going to replicate a small capacity. Actually, it's going to be a 5 gig volume. There's not much in the volume, so really what we're replicating is only the actual consumed space, even though it represents to an operating system or something like that much larger. It's just what's consumed in the volume gets replicated. So this will work for us, but we'd want to manage that and pay attention to that. Next, we're going to need to choose our tier of storage, and that will reflect in our cost down here. So I'm going to change it from to general purpose flash. You can see our cost has been adjusted. And then finally, obviously, we need to select the region. Click Next, and then we're going to confirm this information. All right, we'll click Close. And we can see we have this new replication store that has been created. So now let's use that and create a replication partner with our on-prem array. We're going to click New On-Premises Array. We'll call it New Ingram Micro Array. I got to put in a host name. That'll be the DNS name or IP address. Now you must be able to reach this IP address when you set this up. Even though this is being set up through the Cloud Volumes interface, you need to be able to communicate with this, or this interface needs to be able to communicate with this. So let's log in that address. All right, we'll need to set up the username to log into the array, as well as the password. And then finally, we need to select that replication store that we just created. All right, we'll click Submit. And if everything goes right, we should have a new on-prem array partner. Right? You can see it's been successfully created. We're going to click close. Right? And now we can look up at our on-premises array. Nothing's shown here right now, but I'd be willing to bet if I do a refresh, we will see that this is shown up. Right? Now we have to wait for it to be created or connected, and this will turn to green, and then we could utilize this. So this takes a little bit longer. Obviously, I like to cut out some dead space. You'll look at the actual time down here to actually figure out how long this actually takes. It's not too long, but it's a little bit longer than I'd like inside a video. So as a side note, we created this replication partner from HPE Cloud Volumes, and it reached into our locally addressable array and configure this. Now, if I was doing a replication to another Nimble array, another physical array, right, I would create that replication partnership over here. I'd click the plus sign here, and I'd fill out this information, and I'd do the same on the secondary array as well. All right, and once that was done, everything else I'm going to show you will work as a part of a replication strategy. So I'm going to click cancel, and we're going to wait here a little bit longer for this to kind of actually connect. And our status is green. Okay, our status has turned to alive. It's green. So right now we've set up that partnership, and we have the ability to replicate volumes up into HPE's cloud volumes. And again, that will be this array over here. All right, so how do I go about replicating a volume? Well, let's go back into our on-premises array. Again, we're under manage and data protection. We're just going to move over to data storage here. And we'll see all our volumes. Now I have this one volume here that's created, this Ingram micro volume. I'm going to select this volume. And if we look under data protection, you'll see that we don't have any snapshots that exist. And that's because if you look down here under volume collection, it's not protected. So a volume collection is basically a snapshot schedule. So I don't have anything associated to this. All right, so we're going to go up and we're going to create a volume collection and place it underneath that. So again, that'll be under data protection. You can see that we've automatically defaulted to volume collection. And here's a list of different volume collections. Again, these are snapshot schedules. Right? I'm going to click the plus sign. Right? We're going to create a new collection. So we'll call this new Ingram micro collection. Right, we're not going to start from a template. We could certainly create a template out of this. Obviously, there's synchronization services that we could use. And then we're going to go down here and create a schedule. Now, this would be a normal snapshot schedule. So a part of this I might want to do hourly snapshots. So I'll do, I don't know, we'll do from, say, midnight till 11 at night. We won't do it on Saturday and Sunday. I'll keep 24 snapshots around. Right, and over here you can see remote. But I'm going to keep these local, right, because as a part of your snapshot schedule, you can create the remote replication or replicate the data into another array, or in our case, cloud volumes. So I'm going to add another schedule, and this time we're going to do day. So every day we're going to take a snapshot. Again, won't do that on Saturday and Sunday. I'll keep 5 of these around. Right, and now I'm going to select the replication type. And if I go down to periodic, you'll see that my replication partner automatically fills. Now, I had other replication partners that exist. I could take this drop down and select them. Right, I could have multiple replications going to multiple places, maybe some to another array, and maybe even some up to cloud volumes. So we're going to leave this. We're going to click next. And here I'm going to add the volumes that I want it to be a part of this collection. And we're just going to select our Ingram micro volume, and we're going to select add to that, and I'm going to click create. So now at this point, we can go back over to data storage. We can select our Ingram micro volume, and we can see now that we have a volume collection. So I could have created that volume collection and also have added it to this volume. I could have just went over here, edit, and then go over to protection, and then I could have added that. And I could change it if I wanted to as well. All right, so we'll cancel that. All right, so at this point, we should see an entity within the cloud for this volume. So let's go back up to HPE Cloud Volumes. Excuse me, not block volumes. We'll go over to replica volumes. and we'll see our new Ingram micro volume. So there's no data in here right now. We'll have to wait for the replication to kind of kick off in order for that to happen, and that's why I have this other volume that exists over here. And we're going to use this, and we're going to connect this other volume to our EC2 incident, so our AWS incident. So let's go take a look at this and talk about the relationship of this volume and what it has on it and the information that we're replicating to the cloud. So if we look at this system here, I've got this cloud volumes demo volume attached to this system, and if I open it up, you'll see that I have some data associated with it, and quite obviously I have some very important data that I don't want to ever lose. Right. So this volume, right, this volume here exists on this Nimble array up here. Now let's go take a look at it. We'll go under Manage and then Data Storage. And that volume is right here. And if I select it, you will see that we have this volume collection, which we just created for that other volume. Now if I select that, you can see that it's set up in a similar fashion as what we created for that other volume on the other array. So let's go back over here. Now, one thing I do want to take a look at is the snapshots, because this guy's had a few snapshots that's gone up to the cloud. If I look under Data Protection, this will be all the snapshots that exist. You'll see all the snapshots, but we'll see this one right here. All right, so this has been replicated up to this partner. All right. And I got a little check mark here saying that this information is replicated. All right, and if I go look up in HPE Cloud Volumes, that'll be this volume that exists right here. And we could select that. All right, and we could see the different snapshots that exist up in the cloud. Now I could go over here under Actions, right, and I could connect to the cloud, but it won't let me do that right now because right now the direction is set for incoming, meaning it's accepting replication from an on-premise array. So there are ways to deal with this, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take one of these snapshots, and we'll just take the latest one. All right, and I'm going to clone this. And what this will do is this is going to clone this into a block volume. So we'll click Clone. All right, we're going to get the size, we can change the IOPS. Now I want to attach it to a cloud account, so I have one cloud account created over here. It's connected to my AWS account, so that will be this account up here. So the EC2 incident that we're going to connect to is going to be right over here. And if I open this up, you will see that I just have the native C drive that's connected to this system. All right, but we're going to correct that in a little bit. All right, so let's go back over to Cloud Volumes. I'm going to select my Cloud Volumes account. Now I've got to select the cloud network, and I actually have to select the VPC that EC2 incident is connected to in order to be able to associate it. So if you don't know what a VPC is or a cloud network, it's the basic building block. You know, all your VMs or your EC2 incidences that are on the same VPC could communicate with each other, right? And the VPC that we're going to use is going to be this one right here. I'm going to click Next. Obviously, we could select the snapshot schedule. We'll click Next again, and then we'll confirm. All right, our clone has been created. It's ready to be used. All right, so even though we've cloned it and we've attached it to the VPC, it's not necessarily connected to a virtual machine. If we go under block volumes now, we can see we have this new clone volume that exists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that. All right, we're going to scroll down, and we're going to add a cloud VM. So I'm going to add a cloud VM over here. All right, that's our cloud network that I selected. And if there's any EC2 instances or VMs that are collected to that VPC, they'll show down here. And I just have this one lonely one again. That's that one machine that I showed you. Now we're automatically going to connect it. So this will set up the iSCSI relationship between this block volume and the EC2 incident. So we'll click Attach. Okay, we can see that it's now attached. We're going to click Close over here, and let's go take a look at our EC2 incident. It's not showing up just yet, but if we go over to Disk Management, we'll actually see that volume is presented over here. I'll make this online, right? And now we can see that volume over here. We can open up, and we can see that I did not lose my very important information. All right, so that's how to replicate or get data up in the cloud from a replicated volume. Now, something that's important to note is if I go back up to the top and I select actions, you'll notice I can replicate this back to an on-premises array. So this is nice. So I can take my data, replicate it up into the cloud, attach it to a cloud provider, make changes, and then bring those changes back on site. And there's no egress fees for using something like this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for more videos.